plus the security team, colleagues from government and from the media, good morning. My name is Matthew Amere. As Madam Secretary has introduced, I serve as a member of the National Celebrations Committee and support in the Communication Subcommittee. So I'll just do a quick housekeeping rules for tomorrow so that we're able to align in terms of movement. As we all know, the celebration is taking part at National Stadium, and we are going to facilitate the accreditation for the media to access. Access gets detail will be shared, but what we kindly ask is that we cooperate with the security agencies in terms of direction. But once we meet at the stadium this afternoon, we'll be able to align with the security and we'll be able to be guided on what access gates to be used. The area of operations for media will only be accessed strictly by accreditation badges. Without accreditation badges, you shall be removed and then you shall sit at the Wananchi areas and follow the proceedings from there. To be able to facilitate the accreditation, we kindly request that we meet at Nyayo National Stadium at 4 p.m. this afternoon so that we're able to issue with the accreditation badges. In line with the same, we ask that those media houses that bring in their OB vans should be at Nyayo National Stadium again by 4 p.m. so that we align with the security teams in terms of placement of where we're going to put the OB vans. And we take you through the razors placement so that we are ready for tomorrow. Wi-Fi details will also be provided tomorrow on the ground, so we should be able to have free Wi-Fi to be able to file our stories as we continue with our assignments. We have the teams that the planning, the subcommittee rather, is going to be on ground to help you in case of any issues. So we have myself, we have the team from State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunications. So I think colleagues, we can just stand so that our colleagues from the media can see us so that tomorrow, should there be any issues, they can run to any of us. So the team, please, we have a team from State House, we have a team from government spokesperson, State Department from Broadcasting and Telecommunication. So the colleagues standing, should you have any challenges tomorrow, we will be there to be able to facilitate and support you. Finally, thank you. Finally, in terms of timing, we request that we be at the stadium latest by 6 a.m. We should be able to have settled and be ready for assignments. Our chief guest, of course, will give the other logistics as to what time the gates open, but for media, our cutoff time is 6 a.m. We'll still be around. Should you have any other question, we'll be able to answer and support. Thank you very much. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Mr. Andere. And probably our chief guest, I will confirm to you that so far we had already registered around 150. We don't seem to have reached 150, so I'm expecting more to come. But we will not stay so much. We'll give them limited time so that we are able to ensure that we have covered everybody. With those few remarks, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you, sir, to give your speech.
Thank you very much, Madam Patricia, who is the Secretary of Public Communications, journalists from various media houses, invited guests, all protocol observed. Good morning. I'm Jambo Mabibi na Mabwana. First of all, I welcome all of you to this media briefing. Thank you for coming. Secondly, before I read my official remarks, I want to introduce you to our regional security committee members. I request that you be upstanding. Mr. Seda, on my immediate right, is the regional police commander. Mr. Hachu is the regional NIS coordinator. Mr. Chemos is the regional AP commander. Dr. Wanyama is the regional prisons commander. And Mr. Kasioki is the regional DCI commander. I can see we also have other officers, but we will get to know them as we progress. I also have my personal assistant, Mr. Kimathi, from my office. So before I go into the speech, maybe I could just go into why we celebrate this important day in our calendar. If we can go back to history, in 1963, 1st June 1963, we attained our internal self-rule. A few months down the line, on the 12th of December 1963, we achieved our independence. That is when our national flag was raised for the first time and the British Union Jack came down. That was the first time our national anthem was played. So it was a momentous moment for our history. 1 year down the line, that is 12th of December 1964, we became a republic. What are the implications of this? Between 1st June to 12th December 1963, we were still a British colony. However, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta was the Prime Minister. He was presiding over the cabinet. They were making some policies, majorly on land distribution, and even to negotiate for the final independence. Now come 12th. After 12th December 1963 to 1964, if you read the history, voluntarily we were still recognizing the Queen as our head of state. So mnajua maneno? Yes. And the official title was the Queen of Kenya. And she was represented in Kenya by the Governor General, one Mr. MacDonald, who was doing the ceremonial things on behalf of the Queen. But now come when we became a full republic. We now converted to a full presidential system whereby Mzee Jomo Kenyatta became our first head of state and commander-in-chief. Now, those are the historical things which we celebrate annually because they are very big milestones. Now, it calls for a lot of patriotism. It is a learning session for all of us, and the young ones, and the old alike. It is a reminder of where we have come from and where we will be proceeding to. Therefore, as we approach this day, we must re-examine our patriotism. And even as media, we must examine our professionalism. You know, when it comes to the media, they say the wrong things are the ones which sell. I don't know whether the wrong things or the funny things are the ones which sell. But the normal good things are just a routine. But I would urge the media that we focus more on the positives and patriotism. Even if there are a few things here and there, no problem, but we focus more on the positives. Just on a light note, I will bring to your attention two things which happened in the past. One long time ago, there was a minister called Michuki. He had a socks which had a little hole somewhere, and it became news. It was all over in the media. We even forgot the content of what the whole media briefing was about. Recently, when our chiefs visited the house on the hill, you know, they traveled overnight and they were sleepy. So they were resting before the main event. And somebody said, they took a caption and said, now, who fed the chiefs before the function? It's a big mistake because they were taking a nap. So please, tomorrow we'll be having a big event. Let us focus on the positive. because of patriotism. Now you'll allow me to read my speech, which contains most of the things which we would wish you to get. I feel honored to be with you this morning as we prepare to celebrate this year's Jamhuri Day tomorrow at Nyayo National Stadium. As we are all aware, Jamhuri Day reminds us of the day our country attained full independence from the British colonial government on 12th December 1964, attaining the status of a republic. The day is commemorated in honor of our nation's founding fathers, whose efforts successfully dethroned the colonial government and the formation of the government of the Republic of Kenya. The theme of this year's celebration is tourism, wildlife, and MICE. MICE stands for meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. The theme is focused on repositioning Kenya as a global tourism powerhouse, driving economic growth through revitalizing the sector, new branding, public-private partnerships, highlighting adventure, culture, innovation, and the MICE sector. The celebrations reflect on the liberation struggle and the aspiration of our forefathers for a better future, which successive governments have sought to accomplish. These milestones have been celebrated every year during Madaraka, Mashujaa, and Jamhuri Day, which we are celebrating tomorrow. During the occasion, there will be entertainment by various groups, dances, and the trooping of the color by our defense forces. And the climax will be the address by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. The documented liberation struggle behoves us to emulate our nation's founding fathers and carry on with the mantle of liberating ourselves from yokes of poverty, disease, illiteracy, among other vices. Currently, the resolve is anchored on the Kenyan Vision 2030, from which the Kenya Kwanza government drew its bottom-up economic transformation agenda, popularly known as BETA. Ladies and gentlemen, Nairobi County is privileged to host Jamhuri Day every year, while Madaraka and Mashujaa Days were regionalized and are interchangeably hosted by other counties. The national celebrations not only evoke the memories of our heroes and heroines, sacrifices for our sake, but also comes with added advantages of boosting the regions through infrastructural investments that outlive the celebrations. Under the BETA agenda, Nairobi City Council region has immensely benefited from the national government implemented projects and programs modeled along the 5 pillars of the plan, including agriculture, micro and small medium enterprises, MSMEs, development, affordable housing programs, universal health coverage, and the digital superhighway and creative economy. Several projects are being implemented in the region, including but not limited to: 1, affordable and social housing. So far, a total of 29 projects are ongoing and expected to provide 67,260 housing units, with 1,080 units having been completed and occupied in Mukuru Kwanjenga project. These projects have created more than 20,000 job opportunities directly for those working at the sites, plus those in consulting firms and those working for contractors. There are also those who are employed indirectly, such as suppliers of building materials, wood vendors, just but to mention a few. 13 more projects are proposed for construction. This will add an additional 29,820 units to the ongoing ones. I wish to clarify that persons affected by the projects, popularly known as PAPs, in one way or the other will be given priority, either in terms of purchasing of the units or a token for relocation. For example, in Makongeni, Those who were evicted were provided with Kenya shillings 150,000 relocation stipend. Modern markets. The national government is constructing new markets and rehabilitating existing ones across the county. In Nairobi, 7 national government markets are being constructed from scratch. That is Kikomba Market, Ruai Wholesale Market, Mathare North Market, Maji Mazuri Modern Market, South B Modern Market, Jogoo Road, Uhuru Modern Market, Riruta Modern Market. The tender for construction of Kangemi County Strategic Market has also been recently awarded. These facilities are part of the Better Plan initiatives focused on strengthening micro, small, and medium enterprises. By creating business opportunities, improving the trading environment, and generating direct and indirect employment openings for individuals and local communities. The government is improving learning environment through upgrading of education facilities in various schools in Nairobi, which has less developed infrastructure. These facilities include construction of classrooms, dormitories, science complexes, computer laboratories, libraries, renovation of toilets, installation of CCTV cameras, and furnishing among the schools that are benefiting include Kangemi, Kiumbuini, New Kiumbuini, Westlands Primary Schools, along with the Nairobi School, and State House Girls High School in Westlands Sub-County. New Mabatini and St. Teresa Girls Primary Schools, St. Teresa High School, Mathare Mixed Secondary School in Mathare Sub-County. New Mukuru School being constructed from scratch. Tena is being supported with 40 classrooms. Umoja 1, 11 classrooms. Primary school, these are primary schools in Embakasi Sub-County. Ayany Primary School, we have 10 classrooms which are ongoing. Computer lab, a library are planned. These are in Kibra. Then we also have Jamhuri High School with an 800-bed capacity dormitory that's ongoing, and a science complex proposed for construction in Starehe Sub-County. Kariobangi Primary and Njiru Secondary Schools, we have 10 classrooms each. These are in Njiru Sub-County. Lenana High School, where 24 classrooms have just been completed in Dagoretti South Sub-County. Renovation of toilets, paving of assembly ground, car park area, and buying of 200 lockers and tablets, along with the 40 staff room chairs, installation of hand washing points with the 6 staffs being done at Zawadi Primary School in Kamukunji. In the same county, Isili Airport Primary School is benefiting from installation of CCTV cameras, 290 lockers, and chairs for learners, renovation of toilets, 12 classrooms, tables, and external and internal painting of the buildings. Now, if we look at the stadiums that are ongoing in Nairobi, we have the construction of Talanda Sports City Stadium that is going on, and it is at 66%. Renovation of Kasarani Annex 1 completed with phase 2 at the initial stages. Construction of the Police Sacco Nairobi Pavilion ongoing at 98% completion level. Ulinzi Sports Club training ground, the works are completed. Phase 1 of the renovation at Nyayo National Stadium is complete, with phase 2 being at initial stages, while the tartan track is at 70% completion. That one you will see for yourself tomorrow. The Kenya Academy of Sports has 2 pitches being set up and are 70% complete in Kasarani constituency. At this site, there are masons, food vendors, casual laborers, construction material suppliers, carpenters, welders, and engineers, forming a mix of professions and people out to make a living. Now, at the Bomas of Kenya, the Bomas of Kenya is undergoing massive transformation into the Bomas International Convention Complex. It will feature an 11,000-seater convention center, a 7-star hotel, sports facilities, cultural amenities, that will boost Kenya's maize sector. The construction of the first phase is expected to be complete by March 2026. The congestion of the city. Through expansion of Valley Road, construction of Ngong Road, Naivasha Road Junction Mall flyover, Nyerere Road interchange, the Upper Hill overpasses, reinforced by the planned expansion of the link roads by Kura and the El Selassie interchange underpass. There's an underpass under El Selassie, which will be launched very soon, and you guys will see. These projects have positively impacted the surrounding communities by way of job creation, improved skills of infrastructural development, among other benefits, even as they are expected to ease transport along the city routes. Climate Works program has so far covered 2 cohorts, employing a total of 54,576 youth, enabling them to earn a living and put food on the table for their young families. We also have the Youth Empowerment Program, that is the Nyota Fund. The National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement, Nyota project, is a landmark initiative by the government of Kenya, funded by the World Bank, aimed at transforming the lives of vulnerable youth over 5 years. Nyota will create employment opportunities, enhance income generation, promote savings among the youth population. The government has reaffirmed its commitment to empowering the youth through newly launched Nyota Business Support Program. This is a nationwide initiative offering youth 50,000 non-refundable grants, and they will be given 70 per ward. Of course, the eligibility is between 18 to 29 years, from 4 levels of education and below. Unemployment, the status must be unemployed. If you say employed, they'll tell you go and take a loan. Participation is open to all Nyota program participants, including those in apprenticeship programs and startup capital support. We also have the digital hubs. The government has set up 28 digital hubs in several identified sub-counties in Nairobi. 11 are operational and 17 are pending completion. These hubs provide a supportive environment for learning and mentorship to foster digital entrepreneurship. They are equipped with free internet, computers, and digital skill training to improve employability and entrepreneurship. The Nairobi Rivers Regeneration Program. This is a government-led initiative to clean up and revitalize Nairobi's polluted rivers by tackling pollution, expanding sewer lines, constructing riparian walkways, improving waste management, and integrating green spaces, housing, and markets to create a sustainable urban waterfronts. The key elements of this project are a new trunk sewers, 54 kilometers plan, expand treatment plans, flood mitigation, community engagement, better urban living, public health, among other projects. Ladies and gentlemen, now if we focus on our celebrations tomorrow, on matters security and traffic arrangements, I wish to announce that for us to have smooth traffic flow and peaceful celebrations tomorrow, the following arrangements have been made to ensure security and safety for all. Security measures have been put in place within the venue, at the CBD, and in the estates, starting from the eve of the celebrations, that is from today, until the final day, with uniformed and non-uniformed officers deployed at strategic points, and specialized teams will also be available for any eventualities. Proper protocol to welcome distinguished guests and wananchi are in place. On traffic management, all the vehicles from Langata Road will be diverted at Madaraka Road roundabout to Lusaka Road roundabout, while the aerodrome Wakiru Road will be closed between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. All vehicles on the expressway from Westlands will exit at Bunyala beginning from 7 a.m. and those from Lolongo will exit at Capital Center. No vehicles will be allowed on the expressway opposite Nyayo Stadium. Traffic on all the other roads will operate normally. All motorists are requested to follow the directives of the traffic officers who will be at hand to guide. Individuals should also take necessary security precautions. They should not use their expensive phones or expose expensive watches, jewelry, and other valuables in crowded areas. I think these are normally the ground rules. The people may carry water, refreshments, or snacks to the venue, but not alcoholic drinks. Hakuna vileo, The National Government Administration officers, police officers, National Youth Service, and other agencies will be at hand to guide people on where to sit at the pavilion, the public terraces, and other convenient areas. Everyone is expected to be seated by 7 a.m. But the gates will be open from 5 a.m. in the morning. There will be adequate parking in the stadiums for VIPs. Parking for other vehicles will be around the stadium and a closed Langata-Mombasa Road loop. Drivers are requested to follow directions from the traffic officers. There are international guests whom we are expecting, and they have been invited, including heads of states, governments, and diplomats. To affirm our patriotism, we request Kenyans that let our dress code be inspired by our national colors. Of course, our national colors are the colors of our flag. It should be inspired by that. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, may I reiterate that this year's Jamhuri Day will be celebrated at Nyayo National Stadium on the 12th December 2025, and all persons, including the media, are invited to attend. To you all, happy Jamhuri Day, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year 2026. Gilbert Kirito, Regional Commissioner. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was his report form, and I was hoping that as he was reading, we were clapping with all those achievements that he has mentioned for Nairobi County. Can we give him a round of applause? Chief guest, allow me to give them an opportunity in case we have any question, maybe one or two. All questions should be related to tomorrow's activities. Do we have any question, please? One. Mike. Just one question, right? Because we are pressed for time. I know we have so many activities after here. Please mention your name and the media house that you come from.